Hey guys, welcome. It's Philip Smith for another edition of Community Bank Commentary from Gerrish SmithTuck Consultants and Attorneys. In our first couple of videos, we suggested that as our roles evolve throughout the year and as things get a little bit back to normal, we may be traveling around the country. We may upload a few videos from some odd spots around the country. Well, this is probably the first one of those. You've probably seen a couple of these from my home office or from our actual offices. But this time I'm on the road out at, let's call this random hotel on the eastern part of the United States. It's about 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, but I had a couple of ideas in mind that I just wanted to share with all of you and hope you may find them useful as we're continuing to go through this certainly unusual and dynamic year. The comment on this one that I wanted to provide in this commentary relates to a saying or a phrase. Many of you may have found yourselves trying to come up with something that you say to people in this unusual time where we're dealing with COVID, we're dealing with national unrest and the like. And one of the ones that I've settled on that's come into play, I've heard it a number of different times in other places too, it's not unique to us or our firm, but it's this commentary to stay healthy and be smart. Stay healthy, be smart. And I found myself saying that to my college-age sons as they were heading back to try to have some semblance of a normal college life, to stay safe, wear a mask, do those things, be smart, try not to attend too many parties, try not to attend too many gatherings, but stay safe and be smart. Interestingly, I found myself also giving that advice to my aging parents, obviously much more susceptible to COVID than younger generations appear to be. So I'm advising them, hey, mom and dad, stay safe and be smart in what you're doing. Keep your body safe, keep your or healthy, keep your bodies healthy. Be smart about what you're doing. Don't touch anything you don't need to. Don't go out if you don't have to. And as I thought about how we're using those in our daily lives and with our family and our friends, maybe in our businesses, how much does that really apply to our financial institutions as well? I started finding myself saying that to my clients when I'm going out doing strategic planning or something. Tomorrow I'll be in a day-long strategic planning session with a bank here. And for this community bank, I think that's going to be part of their mantra as well. That from a financial institution standpoint, we want to stay safe, financially safe, safe and sound, regulatory-wise safe and sound, but we want to be smart too. We want to be smart in terms of what we're doing in terms of strategic planning, our next steps. How do we allocate our capital? What do we do with our employee base? So some of these lessons that we're taking to heart as it relates to COVID, I think can apply very well in our financial institutions as well. So as I'm dealing with a lot of strategic planning now as we move into the last part of 2020, maybe thankfully so the last part of 2020, a lot of my clients and a lot of our firm's clients, if they were absolutely candid and honest with you, would say that for the rest of 2020, they're not going to do anything strategically out of the ordinary. They're going to try to keep their organizations healthy, and they're just going to be smart about the future. And so for a lot of those, it may be battening down the hatches, ride out things for 2020. Who knows what's going to happen with the presidential election or on the national front, but let's maintain the course of where we are. We're not doing too bad overall. Let's ride out 2020, and then let's be ready to go into 2021, both in a healthy manner and in a smart planning manner as well. So I think maybe if you take that into heart. And then for those banks that are beginning to think about things, it's interesting. We've had a number of clients that have said, tell me what's happening in the merger and acquisition environment. And the answer is that there is still an active and engaged acquisition environment going on. You're not seeing as many deals being announced, but there's still a ton of activity. So for those of you that are thinking about either positioning your bank to be a buyer in 2021, or perhaps positioning yourself for an exit strategy in 2021, the time to start planning for that is not in 2021, it's really now. And to begin to look out beyond the crisis we're in, begin to look out beyond the next presidential election, and really try to position yourselves for where you're going to be. And so we're seeing a lot of banks that are doing that, taking advantage of that, beginning to ramp up strategic planning toward the end of the year. Even if the decision is not to do anything else immediately, it's to be well prepared for 2021. And I think ultimately the result that comes out of that is, again, this interesting saying we've said for health-related, COVID-19 related issues of stay healthy and be smart. But I hope for many of you, that's your mission for the next short term. That's your objective strategically. Keep our organizations absolutely healthy, mind what we're doing, be in touch with our regulators, keep our banks healthy, and be smart strategically about what we're doing in the future. So I hope you'll take that to heart for your organizations as well for you personally. If we can help you, please let us know. So, signing off, Philip Smith for Gerrish SmithTuck saying, stay healthy and be smart.